If you have your monies in TD Bank, let them know that you are going to divest. Let them know why you're going to divest. Sponsoring and financing good things in life is A-okay, but sponsoring death and destruction, not okay. There's a lot of banks that finance the death and destruction of our planet. The extractive companies are financing a lot of our cultural programs at our universities, at our colleges, writing programs, soccer camps, you name it. Hockey camps. Look at the ESSO Awards. Look at the Our Story creative writing program for children. All the extractive companies are in there. Look at any university. The Ryerson College University. The Indigenous Governance Program, it was sponsored and at one time was sponsored directly by Vale Inco and Nuclear Waste. Now the money just gets filtered through so you don't see how it's being, how it's financing our Indigenous programs. U of T, financed by Peter Munk, Barrick Gold. One of the worst contributors to the destruction of our planet and people's lives, killing people, raping women. Enbridge Pipeline runs right through here, Toronto. Line 9. Enbridge Pipeline is also having a Line 10 connected to Line 9 at the Westover, near the Westover transfer station, near Ancaster, Ontario, Hamilton area. Line 9 runs right through Toronto along the Finch Avenue corridor from Sarnia to Montreal. But Line 10 starts at the west at the transfer station near Ancaster and goes down to Buffalo, New York, Seneca, Buffalo, New York. And all of that's carrying tar sands bitumen. Enbridge is also a part financer and builder and interest in the Dakota Access Pipeline. So they're contributing to the damage down there as well. So right now we have 3 women inside, locked down, just like at Citibank in San Francisco, just like the Wells Fargo Bank, just like TD in Vancouver a couple of weeks ago. People are stepping up all over the continent, all over the world, and shutting down the infrastructure, shutting down. In New Zealand, they spoke about Standing Rock in the Parliament. In Australia, all over the world, they know what's going on at Standing Rock, and they're going through the same issues as well. Fracking, oil, gas. We had a gas explosion in Alabama a couple days ago. We still haven't got the Exxon Valdez cleaned up yet. What's that, 20 years? They keep promising to have money to clean this up. They don't have the money. The Kalamazoo River is over $2 billion. They don't have the money to clean it up. They had to move people out of there and buy them out of their homes because it's so damaged. They will never clean that up. These are sacrifice zones. Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, sacrifice zones. Your drinking water, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Line 9, Line 10, sacrifice zones. If you go to Access Pipeline, Cannonball River through the Missouri watershed, over 18 million people, sacrifice zones. And this is what the banks are financing. Not just TD, RBC, you name it, they're all in it. We have better hope for the credit unions, but check them out too. Make sure who they, where their monies go. Make sure where your mutual funds go. Check out where your mortgages, how your mortgages are financed. It can be done. We can switch over. RBC, when we had the RBC campaign a few years ago during Occupy, it took a couple years, but the leaders of Occupy here in Toronto got phone calls back from RBC saying, okay, we want to talk. We need to talk. What are you guys doing to us? One of the women inside right now was one of the lead campaigners of that, and she's back again. Locked herself down by the neck inside with 2 other women. It doesn't end here. It ends with you. What are you going to do about it? Where's your money going to go? Check where your money is going. Check what university you're going to. Check the school programs your children are involved with. What's paying for their cultural programs? What's paying for your education? I think we've all seen the images of the militarization down there in South Dakota. Every time there's one of these big events, they militarize that law enforcement area. We had it here with Occupy and G20. We know what happened during G20.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 people were arrested for no reason at all.
Preach. Preach.
And in doing so, they militarized the Toronto law enforcement with riot gear. We had the L-Rod cannons here, the water cannons and the L-Rod sound machines. They've got that down there too. They've been hit with stun guns and tasers down there. They've been hit with the bean bags, and those are not soft little playthings. When they hit you, you know it. You're going to be damaged. Your organs are going to be damaged. When those rubber bullets hit you, you're going to be damaged. They've also been using live rounds of ammunition down there. If you haven't seen that, take a look at Myron Dewey, his Facebook, Drone to be Wild. They've got the drones in operation down there, filming what's going on. There are others down there as well. I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but going to one will lead you to the others. And they show what happened to a 17, 18-year-old boy when he was riding his horse. Live ammunition was shot at him and his horse. 2 horses have been put down now because of this, because they were wounded and not to be brought back. They were shot in the legs. So this is what this bank here and other banks like it are financing. The death and destruction of all of us through our drinking water, through our land contamination. We are all sacrificed. Let them know how mad you are. We don't want the pipelines. We need to end our addiction to fossil fuels. We need to end our addiction in Ontario to nuclear. Yes. They don't know what to do with nuclear waste. The mining of uranium is killing people. Both First Nations people of Saskatchewan, but here in Ontario too, there's a legacy in Northern Ontario of uranium mining. And that's another sacrifice zone. We export CANDU reactors around the world. But CANDU reactors leak tritium as part of the process. We don't have cooling towers with CANDU reactors. Where does it cool? Where does the tritium go? Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario. Every day. And you know what's about to get another 10-year extension to its life? Past its 5 years past its warranty already? Pickering Nuclear. We have so many issues in Toronto right now. Ontario is the second most nuclear-fied region in the whole world, second to France. We have 22 reactors here, not counting the university reactors. And each one of these CANDU reactors leaks tritium into our drinking water from Lake Huron all the way through Lake Ontario and up to St. Lawrence. Shame on them! Colonizers, when they came here, thought water was a place to put your garbage. It's what they did back in Europe, and they brought that same thought here.
No coffee for me. Not this year. Shame on the government. The army.
Pickering Nuclear in 2018 has a chance to go forward for another 10 years. We can stop it. We can stop it dead in its tracks. Look at the Ontario Clean Air Alliance website, Facebook page. There's petitions on there. There's ways to get involved. We just had 2 great big talks here in Toronto and in Pickering. The people in Pickering are pissed. Those who have come out from under the rock. People are afraid on Pickering because all their neighbors work for Pickering. So those individuals who had that strength to come to those meetings, let us know how pissed they are. That tritium leaks into Lake Ontario, becomes part of the water cycle. It evaporates up into the air, drops down again as rain onto our vegetables, onto our trees, into our lawns, into our drinking water, into our showers as we shower and breathe in that vapor. Rachel Lane, the epidemiologist for the CNSC, Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission, when asked about the German study about leukemia rates around nuclear plants, saying the German study said there's a higher incidence of leukemia around nuclear plants.
Shame.
Our CNSC said no way, no way. That's not that. That's not what gives you cancer. She was really talking about adults, but she put it in the same context of the children with leukemia. And she said the causes of leukemia are obesity, poor diet, and smoking. Shame! Unbelievable. The audacity of these people to talk to you like this in front of your face when you're at these hearings. When we were trying to shut down, I know this is sort of going off what we're here for, but it's all part and parcel of the same thing. It's the extractive industries making us into sacrifice zones. Out at DuPont and Lansdowne, we have the fuel pellet company. GE Hitachi makes nuclear fuel right in our neighborhood. Did you know that? Then DuPont and Lansdowne, 1075 Lansdowne. They make the nuclear fuel pellets with uranium dioxide powder processed up in Blind River, Ontario. Mine from Saskatchewan. And they sinter them. They bake them in these kilns. And that residue goes up the smokestacks and it falls in the neighboring gardens around. And that's what those people are eating in their diet when they have their backyard gardens. And that's what goes down into the sewer. And that's what comes back up again. When we have a flood, that's what comes back up into our sewers when our sewers back up. That particular plant is allowed to, I forget what the number is now. They're allowed to dump some like 9 kilograms of uranium dioxide powder into the sewer directly. There was at one time a 2.2 kilogram dump into our sewers by that company, by GE Hitachi. And that's what comes up when we have a flood. So these things are all connected, don't be fooled. All these energy sources are connected. The gas, the oil, the electric, the nuclear. We do have a way though. There is a way. And for some, it may not seem as palatable, but it's one of our best ways forward. In Ontario, we can get Quebec imports of hydropower for about 3.2 cents a kilowatt hour, compared to over 9 cents a kilowatt hour for nuclear. And that 9 cents a kilowatt hour doesn't even take into account the damage and the nuclear waste. So we can get that hydroelectric power from Quebec in like no time flat. The structures are there for it. We just need to pressure our government to do the right thing, and they know it's there. We've been pressuring them and lobbying them. We just need more support from the public, just like we need more support from the public to let these banks know they need to divest from destruction and death, sicking dogs onto people, hiring mercenaries, bringing in ultra-military mercenaries, shooting at people because they want to put a pipeline through their land, and it's going to cross that Missouri River twice. Even if they reroute it, they need to get it to Illinois. No matter how they reroute it, it's going to cross the Missouri River. So that pipeline cannot happen. We need to end our addiction to fossil fuels. End our addiction to fossil fuels. Let's hear that as a chant. End our addiction to fossil fuels. End our addiction to fossil fuels. End our addiction to fossil